remain standing and join us in singing the national anthem, which will be played by the Mount Everett Band and sung by senior Lucia Sasurci. Please be seated. Good morning. On behalf of the school committee, administration, and staff of the Southern Berkshire Regional School District, welcome to the commencement exercises for the class of 2024. Our guests and colleagues joining me on stage are our school committee members, Vice Chair Art Pataki, Kimberly Alcantara, Chairperson Ibani Silvers. Also on stage, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Bethany Buto, Director of Instruction, Curriculum, and Professional Development, Julie Dolan, Assistant Principal, Julie Sternagel, School Counselor and Graduation Coordinator, Dawn Estes Dow, School Counselor, Lou Randall, Graduation Coordinator, Neil Barberry, Band Director, Courtney English, along with the Mount Everett Band, Chorus Director, Madeline Caruso, and special guest, Massachusetts State Representative, William Smitty Pignatelli. And I am Jesse Carpenter, the proud principal of Mount Everett Regional School. I'm all fired. You don't need to clap for me. I know how everyone here feels in their heart about it. So I'm all fired up for graduation. This is like one of my favorite events of the year. It's one of the few times during the year that I get to dress like Harry Potter. I have my graduation/championship shoes on. So anytime Mount Everett plays in the championship, or my kids in college do, I wear them. And this was a good year. I wore them 3 times. But I almost didn't make it here today. This morning, I went and got some coffee, because I was up early, excited about the day, and I almost got ran over in front of Dunkin' Donuts. The driver of the car is on stage with me. And it got me thinking, like what happened the morning of my high school graduation? Did I almost run over some old guy with coffee? And the answer is no. But if anybody knows how you guys on stage feel, it's me. 32 years ago, I sat where you are on this stage for my Mount Everett graduation. And I'm sure there's many of you out in the audience who are up on this stage for your graduation as well. I'm sure many of us shared the same feelings. Part of us was happy to get out of high school. Part of us was sad about leaving this special place. Part of us was terrified about what the future would bring. As I think back to how I felt at the time, it reminds me how special the community of Mount Everett was and still is. I moved to New Marlborough when I was 15 years old. My parents had moved in November from New Jersey and relocated. I stayed with my grandmother because I had to finish my football season. Then I convinced her to stay until the semester ended. Then I convinced her to let me stay until baseball tryouts. I had no intentions of ever leaving Glen Ridge High School. The only reason I ended up in this community was my mother's birthday came in February. My grandmother drove me up here. And during cake, when it was done, I said to my parents, it was good to see you, I'm going back. And I couldn't find my grandmother. She left before cake. 5 years later, she told me the only reason she did that to me was because my mother cried all the time about me not being around. So I made the best of it. The next school day, my father drove me to the front of what used to be mine, Everett, the elementary entrance, and said, get out of the car and good luck. As I look back at that time, I was devastated leaving my small community in Jersey and joining an even smaller community here. I did not know it at the time, but it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. The community of Mount Everett embraced me. I met my lovely wife in a 9th grade math class. I graduated, went off to college, and returned to coach and teach. My 4 younger siblings all graduated from Mount Everett. 30 of the last 35 years of my life I've spent in that building at Mount Everett Regional School. I have 2 children that graduated from here, and I have 2 more who hopefully will graduate in the next couple of years. I'm less worried about number 3, a little more worried about number 4. But I feel blessed that I'm part of this community. I love this place, I love all of you, and I bleed blue and gold. To the graduates, as you leave this community, I want you to think about what this place has meant to you and what impact you have had on it. Community is something that is hard to explain, but it might be the most important factor in all of our lives. The adults on this stage have dedicated their lives to our school community at Southern Berkshire Regional School District and Mount Everett Regional. Our guest speaker, State Representative Smitty Pignatelli, has dedicated his life to public service of his communities. I want you to all think about how you have the ability to positively affect the community you live in now and the communities you may choose to live in the future. You guys on stage, this graduating class has a special place in my heart. I taught some of you in 7th grade, if you remember, and it was the last time I was in the classroom. For the last 20 years, I've had the privilege of speaking at the 8th grade recognition night and giving students some words of wisdom. My speeches were always inspirational, or so people told me. It's okay if they were lying, it still made me feel good. However, your 8th grade recognition night and year were interrupted by COVID. I think we had this great idea of doing like a drive-by where we just handed you stuff and you drove away. You didn't get a recognition night at one of my inspirational speeches. If you had gotten it, I probably would have told you to be that pig. This is the best advice I'd ever gotten, and it came from my Babe Ruth coach in Bloomfield, New Jersey. 11 of the 13 players on the team went on to play in college. We were supposed to be good, but we were playing poorly. After an especially poor performance, he told us that in a bacon and egg breakfast, the chicken is involved, but the pig was fully committed. He told us to be that pig. At the time, none of us had any idea of what he was talking about. But we went on to win our last 20 games in a row. We won the league championship and advanced to the state championship. Later on, when I say later on, I mean like 5 to 10 years later, we sort of figured out what he's telling us about what it truly meant to being committed to something. I have one last piece of advice for you. My daughter just graduated from college. Her softball coach is fond of telling his players to leave the place better than you found it. She played 4 years of softball. They won 3 championships, played in the NCAA tournament 3 times. Collectively, her group of seniors won all kinds of individual awards, broke school records, and won awards outside the classroom. He said in the last time he talked to them that they had made the place, they left the place better than they had found it. So I ask each of you, did you leave your community, both our school community and the one you live in, better than you found it? Whatever your answer is, I hope in your next community, be it in the workforce, the military, in college, or where you choose to live, the answer is I left the place better than I found it. So I congratulate you on graduating, and I suggest that you go out and be that pig and positively affect your communities. Thank you. Just to give you a quick idea of scheduled events, we are going to do this graduation in 60 minutes. So, we got 46 more. The first speaker in our program will be the class salutatorian Emily Sternagel to deliver our welcome address.
Good morning, and welcome to the graduation ceremony of Mount Everett's class of 2024. We have spent the last 14 years of our lives awaiting this day that is now upon us. For some of us, today could not come soon enough. For others, we wish we could turn back time, but nonetheless, we are here today. And oh, has it been a journey. We have persevered through all our late-night homework and pulled off some of the greatest academic comebacks of all time. So congratulations to us. However, this feat could not have been accomplished without the support of everyone here today. Faculty, staff, community members, friends, family, and just plain old regular people. Because of you, we are on this stage, so thank you. At the ripe age of 18, I have to say my adventures are limited, but that doesn't mean I don't have some great stories. Every person on the stage has encountered different experiences that have led them here today. And today is a day about all of us. It is about our accomplishments as a class and the memories we have shared. It is about the end of our journey together as we each start a new chapter in our lives. So today, I would like to take a trip down memory lane and reminisce on some of the stories of the class of 2024. Some of the major highlights were about the friendships built along the way. From funny moments of being on the same wavelength to simply hanging with the homies, friendships have made a powerful impact on our class. We have cherished every field trip, explored new environments with new people, and endured long bus rides with teammates. However, the bonds formed were not limited to classmates. One Friday, during freshman year history class, Mr. Barrett leaped onto a desk. Now, as a freshman, this moment was very shocking, but once we got to know him, we realized he just really loves history. And Fridays. Maybe it is truly the people that make the place, and surrounding yourself with good people may turn you into a better person, or at least you'll have some pretty good memories. A personal favorite memory was when we went to Six Flags for the middle school band and choir competition. During the performance, a person that will remain unnamed fainted, falling down into some other members of the choir. But don't worry, they're here today. This taught us many valuable lessons. First, stay hydrated. Second, don't lock your knees on the risers. And third, persevere through the challenges you face. Yes, we did hesitate, startled by our fallen friend, but not once did we stop singing. We will always have the memory of our commitment and perseverance. And of course, the video to go along. I would like to end with a sentimental memory. Last year, around this time, some students were presented with the opportunity to go to Italy. With all the exciting things one could do, no cool museums, fascinating art, or delicious food was mentioned. Instead, a reflection on the final day. Walking around the soon-to-be unfamiliar streets alongside new friends, everything felt so temporary. We were able to get to know each other outside of the classroom because we were willing to open up ourselves to something new. Now, standing here today, about to graduate high school with all these unforgettable memories, I guess everything is temporary. The bad days will pass, but so will the good days, so be grateful for where you are and what you have. Always be willing to take on change and experience something new. So let's take a moment. Look around. Remember these faces as we prepare to wave goodbye to the end of beginning. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. That was great. Neil Barber and Don Estisdal will now announce the recipients of a few awards.
Morning. And if you know me, this is not the only time I dress up as Harry Potter. Probably shouldn't have said that. All right. The Massachusetts Secondary School Administrators Association Student Achievement Award is given to a student who has made a positive difference in the school community. The award goes to Nathan Tenbrook. The Principal's Leadership Award is presented to the senior who has demonstrated the ability to combine academic excellence and leadership in school and community activities. The award goes to Shira Sawyer.
At this time, I would like to give out a few scholarships that were not announced during the awards ceremony this past Wednesday. A Picard Provo Scholarship in memory of John Henry Picard and Frank Provo goes to Catherine Cohen. I would like to apologize to Catherine and the Cohen family that this award was not announced on Wednesday. We regret the omission. I would also like to announce that the Harold D. Rood American Legion Post 350 to Marlboro Scholarship was announced after our awards tonight. This scholarship goes to Ivy Webster Ben-David. I would now like to welcome School Committee Chairperson Bonnie Silvers to the podium to announce our two highest ranking students and to say a few words. Would Dr. Beth Regabudo please join us at the awards table as well?
We are pleased to announce the names of the two members of the class of 2024 who have been named this year's salutatorian and valedictorian. Each of these students has devoted countless hours and a tremendous amount of hard work and dedication to their studies at Mount Everett to receive this time-honored recognition. The salutatorian is the student who has achieved the second highest weighted grade point average. The Mount Everett Class of 2024 salutatorian is Emily Sternagel. The valedictorian of the graduating class is the student who has achieved the highest weighted average. The Mount Everett Class of 2024 valedictorian is, name will sound a little familiar, second name, Allison Sternagel. Morning. On behalf of the entire Southern Berkshire Regional School District School Committee, let me extend my congratulations to all of you who have done the work of shepherding this incredibly wonderful group of almost graduates sitting on our stage. Wanting to keep my remarks brief, and I'm not known for brief remarks, I turn to a book most of you probably read to our students perhaps 15 years ago, The Little Engine That Could. The Mount Everett class of 2024, in my opinion, is so much like that engine. It's small, but boy, is it mighty. These students had the dubious honor of being Mount Everett 8th graders when the pandemic hit, and they had to deal with every iteration of national and local edicts directing their education. Closed schools, remote learning, hybrid education, combining Zoom and in-person learning, almost weekly changes in health regulations, to finally returning to classes in person, but with mask distancing, sanitation rules, vaccinations, and worries about additional outbreaks. Couple all of this with the fact they lived through a 3-year merger initiative that brought a great deal of uncertainty into many of our communities, and as we know, when it affects our communities, it impacts the lives of our students. Yet when I look at the accomplishments of this class, you would think we had a graduating class of 230 Sternagels. We have never had so many students graduate with certificates of biliteracy in the years I've been here, including one person who's graduating with biliteracy with distinction. This class, when I did the math, earned more scholarship funds than I've seen in the past 7 years. They are enrolling in colleges throughout the country. That's a big thing for many of our students who have never left the Berkshires. Those who have chosen to go directly into the workforce are selecting true career pathways. And added to all of this, they've graduated this class with over 230 college credits. This type of initiative is special. They brought back the Bold Eagle, their newspaper, because they wanted it. They basically created their entire yearbook in-house, and they took on the issue of merging high schools as an issue they believed they had to have a voice in. How did this happen? It's the little engine that could, also known as the class of 2024. They found their voice despite, or maybe because of what was happening in the areas of adversity, pandemic, conflict, etc. And there are 3 quick incidents that I can think of that really show this class off to its best. For example, in the fall, the day our boys' soccer team was to have their senior game, at the last minute, the opposing team canceled, couldn't make it. Our guys were all suited up and ready to go. What happened? They had graduates who were there, they had faculty members who were there, they had the girls' soccer team that was there, and they put it all together. And as many of them have said, particularly Aiden Murray and Nathan Tenbrook, who were the seniors to be celebrated, it was a wonderful, powerful experience. Then, a couple of weeks ago, I was listening to something that I hadn't seen before, which was other players recognizing and championing their colleagues on the softball team. And one young lady stood up with her prepared speech. And for all of her joking around lots of times, Mikkel Carpenter was so on target when she spoke about her teammate and close friend for more than a decade, Julia Devote, and how she had seen Julia find her voice and her confidence, not only as a pitcher and a hitter, but as a person. And Mikkel warned Julia that she had better keep using that voice in her life, which I think goes back to what you were saying, Jesse. The last example will take you to someone else I've mentioned, Nathan Tenbrook, and his speaking at the Everett town meeting before the vote on the merger. He had just turned 18. I spoke with him after his speech, and he really didn't know to the very last minute that he was going to have the guts to do it. And he said how surprised he was how much support he had from the adults who were in that room. We were so proud, and we realized just how important what we were going through was to everybody. And it's a good thing that he got up and spoke, because now he's off to Skidmore in the fall, and he told me he's planning on becoming a lawyer, and he decided it was a good thing that he got over his fear of public speaking by speaking before the townspeople of Egremont. We all should take a minute to congratulate ourselves in a way for helping this little engine that could get where they are today. May they all continue to excel. I now have a great pleasure of introducing our guest speaker, Representative William Smitty Pignatelli of the 3rd Berkshire District in the Massachusetts House of Representatives, and the Dean of the Western Massachusetts Delegation, and he is a graduate of Lenox Memorial High School. I don't know if you had to have permission from them to speak. As well as Babson College. Smitty knows all sides of what we are preparing our students for, as he ran his family's electronic business for 20 years prior to his election to the House. And he has been involved in public service for over 40 years in Lenox, all of Berkshire County, and the state. Earlier this year, Smitty announced he will not be running for another term, representing the largest geographic district in the Commonwealth, our 5 communities. We have benefited from his tireless support for our rural communities, our tourism industry, his efforts to preserve and improve our environment, his work in each of our communities to recognize the history of the Berkshires, his support for initiatives aimed at supporting affordable and workforce housing, and most importantly for us today, his dedication to supporting educational initiatives for those going on to higher education, as well as exciting new career paths. It is my honor to introduce the man who has done so much to help Boston recognize that the western border of the Commonwealth is not I-91 or Springfield, and also the person many of us have had the honor to call a friend, Smitty Pignatelli. Thank you.
Wow. She read it just like I wrote it. Thank you very much, Bonnie, for that beautiful introduction. I was getting tearing up, actually. Yeah, the last time, I was here last night for BCC's graduation, and like the young man that spoke at the Egremont town meeting, who was that? Raise your hand. Congratulations, because I didn't know I was speaking today until I got to the parking lot when I ran into Paul O'Brien and Glenn Devote. So really, I'm very honored to be here, but I love the school. I think the little engine that could is a good synopsis of how powerful this little school is. In my 40 years in elected office, I'm honored to tell you that this is the very first time I've ever been formally invited to attend a high school graduation. So Beth, thank you so much for the invitation to join you all here today, to congratulate this amazing group of students behind me. I fell in love with the school 22 years ago when I got into the House. I think I got sworn in on New Year's Day. And I think on January 2nd, Glenn Devote gave me a call and told me, you got to come down to Mount Everett High School and see what's going on. And I fell in love with it immediately. And Glenn Devote and Paul O'Brien and Dave Hastings, the superintendent, I don't know if David is here today, but I fell in love with the school because of those 3 people, because I saw the passion and the love and the care that they gave to the young people at that time. They believed in them, they helped them, they guided them, they inspired them. And all those 3 gentlemen are now retired, but not much has changed. That love and the passion and inspiration continues on with the school committee and the school officials in this wonderful school. I remember coming down here for, not here, Timewood, but Mount Everett, to commemorate the first year anniversary, the 5th year anniversary of 9/11, which really changed the course of history in America. The young people behind me were not even born. But sadly, and I say it sadly, they have never lived in a world that we have not been at war. And the unrest that we experience here today, all over the world and right here at home, the political discourse that we have, the COVID experiences that you guys have experienced and survived and prospered, the 230 college degree credits, that is an amazing accomplishment. And I think that deserves a round of applause on its own. So congratulations on that. The little engine that could. I graduated from Lenox High School. It was a very small school. My daughter graduated from Lenox High School, a very small school. She went off to college, and this shy little girl who's now living in Hollywood, California, living her dream and her passion, the one that I never dreamed would want to be living and working 3,000 miles away. But the foundation that was given here in the Berkshires allowed her that opportunity to grow and prosper, to lead a very wonderful career. I miss her. I try to go out there a couple times a year. She comes home a couple times a year. But I encourage the young people today, whether you stay here in the Berkshires, whether you move away, never forget where your roots were. Never forget who believed in you from the start. Your parents, and I want you all to be quiet. I want you guys to give your parents a round of applause. Right now, be good. Because it was the moms and the dads and the brothers and sisters and the grandparents that, believed in you and gave you opportunities to build teamwork and lead a good life right here at home. So no matter where you go, I always tell young people, don't be afraid to leave. You can always come home, but sometimes you can't always leave. So I was talking to the twins who are going off to Florida to conquer the world in marketing and political science, which I'm not sure about the political science thing, if that's a good future, but we desperately need new young people, new leaders. And I'm glad that Bonnie mentioned about the school merger ideas and the young man who spoke at the Egremont town meeting. We need the young people to speak up. We need them to be involved. We need them to be there to make a difference. And the older folks, myself included, need to lend them an ear to understand. My dad always told me to talk to as many people as possible because someone may have an idea that you've never thought of. And for 40 years, that's exactly what I've tried to do. I look around this room here today and I see a lot of dear friends for many, many years. We haven't always agreed on the topics or the issues of the day, but we were always willing to listen to each other and talk about it. And you helped shape and form the opinions and the decisions that I was making as your state legislator. So the young people here today, wherever you go, what I want you to do is talk to as many people as possible. I want you to find your joy. Find the joy in your life. Bring joy to other people's lives. And the quality of thoughts in your own mind will lead to the quality of life that you will have for yourself. We need to be more positive. We need to see that energy. We need to embrace the differences, whether it be racial differences, religious differences, or any differences, politically or anything else. We need to embrace each other and learn from each other, and we need to collectively lead a good life. I'll close with a quote that the former Speaker of the House, Tom McGee, he told me many, many years ago when I first got elected. He said, I try to live by one motto, that when I put my head down at night, knowing that I've helped even just one person, I've had a good day. And he grabbed my hand and he said, Smitty, I hope you have a lot of good days. He has since passed, but I think of him every day, and I think of that quote every day. And I look around this auditorium here today, and I want to say thank you. Because of you, you've given me a lot of good days. And I hope that that's what these young people leave with today, with hopefully a signed diploma, because that's the first thing I checked crossing the stage many years ago. When I got my diploma, I first opened it up, I want to make sure it was signed. But do things for others. Do Do things for others. The joy and the pleasure you get in return is priceless. I tell young people all the time, I want you to all go and make a good living, make a good life, but don't ever chase a job for the money. Chase it for the passion of the work. The reward comes later. The reward for me today is to be here amongst you. This is a very special day for me, just because you've invited me to be here today. That is an amazing reward that I will cherish and walk off the stage and treasure it for the rest of my life. My time in elected office is coming to an end, but my time in service to others will continue. Service to others is how you're going to make a difference in other people's lives, but you might be really surprised the difference it makes in your own. So I want to thank you all very much for being here today. I want to congratulate the graduates, and this is a very special day. Don't ever take it for granted. Every day is a gift. Every day is a blessing. And my life changed very dramatically when both of my parents died within 29 days of each other 5 years ago. It puts things in perspective. Don't wait for a loved one to be lost before you learn to appreciate what they are all about and what they provided for you. So thank you very much. God bless Mount Everett Regional High School. And God bless all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bonnie, and thank you, Smitty. In recognition of his extraordinary contributions and exemplary service, we are proud to present Representative William Smitty Pignatelli with an honorary diploma. This honor reflects our deep appreciation for his work and our admiration for the profound impact he has made to our district and communities. We also have a plaque for him in appreciation. It's a nice photo of when he came to visit our drone team. Please join me in congratulating Representative William Smitty Pignatelli as we bestow upon him this well-deserved Mount Everett Regional School honorary diploma.
And it's signed. Thank you very much.
I did sign that one. I knew there was something I forgot, so after this thing is done, I'll sign the rest of yours. Oh, I did. Good. Good. I'm getting old now, so I forgot. All right. A Million Dreams from The Greatest Showman, and arranged by Roger Emerson, was chosen by the senior chorus members who will now join their classmates in their final performance as members of the Mount Everett Chorus, directed by Madeline Caruso.
Close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting for me. And I go my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like they can say it all sounds crazy,
Thank you to our Mount Everett chorus. I would now like to welcome Superintendent Dr. Bethany Budo to say a few words and confer the Massachusetts Superintendent Certificate for Academic Excellence.
Let's do the award first, because those are super fun. All right, I would love to, I have the honor of presenting the Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents Award for Academic Excellence to Allison Sternagel. Okay, I'm going to try to fight old age and read without my glasses. We're going to give it a go. Good morning to members of the class of 2024, families and friends, administration, faculty and staff, members of the school committee, and to our distinguished guest, Representative Pignatelli. First, let me say thank you to the class of 2024 and congratulations. I really appreciate being part of your special day. Today we gather to celebrate the individual and collective achievements of the class of 2024. The students before me have much to celebrate as they have met all local and state graduation requirements and are well prepared as they continue their journey into the workforce, military service, and higher education. I would like to take a moment to give a special thank you to those who have served, are currently serving, or who will be going into military service on behalf of all of us. Please stand and be recognized. Each year, as I contemplate what I'm going to say, I realize that I have a very short amount of time to impart some meaningful words of wisdom to the soon-to-be graduates, who today are beginning the next chapter of their lives. These amazing young people are faced with their own personal endeavors, managing their fears, imagining what's possible, and forging into the unknown. And I've only got a few minutes to congratulate them on their accomplishments, encourage them to be courageous, and challenge them to do incredible things with their lives. So in these fleeting, precious moments, what should I share with you? Comedian Paula Poundstone says, adults are always asking little kids what they want when they grow up because they're looking for ideas. So I went into the hallways of our elementary school to do just that. I decided it would be much better to share with the class of 2024 some ideas about what life is like after graduation, and to hear some words of wisdom from some people far more hip than me. So I interviewed some of our youngest learners, who, as always, were very inspirational. Here is what our kindergarten and first grade students had to say. What do you think high school is like? There's more work, like writing and spelling. You are taller. There's no math, no recess, no choice, no fun stuff, no toy bins, and you can't bring any toys from home. A lot to know there. What do you imagine your graduation day will be like? You change your age. You go on stage and give speeches about what you learned, and you get a folded up piece of paper. No one knew why. What kind of clothes do you think people wear at graduation? Blue clothes? All blue. Hat with a yellow thing hanging from it. And the sleeves, they don't fit. What do you want to do after you finish high school? Go to college, head home, go to a store, go to a bank. That's where you get money. I said, but how do you get money? Oh, you get a job. The careers of choice include being a vet, specifically a koala vet, a firefighter, going into the Air Force, a police officer, a YouTuber, and several are going to be professional horseback riders. And for the first time in a very long time since I've been asking this question, many want to be teachers. So yay! Yeah. That's awesome. How long do you think it takes to graduate from high school? 20 to 50 years. How old are you when you graduate? 16. Who will be at your graduation party? Second graders. Just second graders, everybody. This one's priceless. What do you think teachers do after the high school students graduate? Go get more kids. Have a meeting. I hear you. Buy a house, clean up, then maybe relax. They might spend time with their own kids. That was a little. Make cupcakes, go to the beach, eat and drink. But my teacher said drinking was more important. Just saying. Out of the mouths of babes, right? What words of advice do you have to give to the graduates on their big day? Listen a lot. Work hard. You're doing serious things. You might get yelled at. You are amazing. Eat healthily and get a shot. Don't break your leg or your arm, and I'll spare you every body part that was listed. Be safe and aware of your surroundings. Stick to only what your teachers taught you, nothing else. Only do things that you're ready for, like poison ivy. So I said, are you ready? Are you really ever ready for poison ivy? And they all sat there. You did a great job. And Dr. B, please tell them that we're thankful for them. Thank you to Bailey, Willow, Margaret, McKinley, Juniper, Bodie, Caleb, Grace, Greg, Avery with an I, and Mr. Miller. Class of 2024, I hope you reflect on today's celebration with a well-deserved sense of pride and joy. I hope that it is in these moments in your life, like this graduation, that you are humbled, gracious, and thankful. I encourage you to take a moment to think of those people in your life who have helped you get there. The people who have taught you, encouraged you, and loved you. Right now, think with gratitude of the family members, friends, teachers, coaches who shaped you, nurtured you, and demanded more from you as you navigated the long and winding road to this stage today. And when it's your moment to walk across the stage and to accept your diploma, it is my hope that your heart is filled with an enduring sense of pride and gratitude for your school community, and your family. I want to leave you with this quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. What lies behind you and what lies in front of you pales in comparison to what lies inside of you. Class of 2024, as you move forward, let Emerson's words guide you. Remember, it's not just about footprints you leave in the world, but the imprint you make on hearts and minds. Your actions, driven by the greatness within you, have the power to create ripples of lasting impact and inspiration. I'm proud of you and proud to have had the opportunity to serve as your superintendent. Congratulations and best wishes as you start your lives as the newest graduates of Mount Everett Regional School. Always know that you are forever members of our school community and that each one of you has left your footprints on our hearts. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Regabudo. It is now with great pleasure that I introduce class valedictorian Allison Sternagel to deliver the honor speech.
Thank you all for attending the graduation of the Mount Everett class of 2024. Today we are here to celebrate all of the hard work and dedication of these students sitting up here and give them the congratulations they deserve. I would like to thank the adults in the school community and parents and caregivers for mentoring us and crafting us into the wonderful human beings we are today. One word that is frequently used to describe our school is unique. What I value about this place is how you can walk down the hall and see your best friend from kindergarten, or even see your mom sitting in her office. Mount Everett feels like a family. It's pretty unique to have that atmosphere in a high school. Although I was rather disappointed no one ever broke out into song in the cafeteria like it was High School Musical, I'm glad I was able to grow up in this tight-knit environment where everyone knows each other, and I can say that it has shaped us into the people we are today. Unfortunately, the bubble of the Berkshires didn't protect us from conflict. In every family, there are nitpicky relatives who are overly critical and seem to wish another's downfall. With such a small class, it's inevitable to be competitive, as it's easy to compare yourself to others when you're around the same 20 people for 7 hours a day. It's human nature to be nosy, to murmur in the back of class or peek over someone's shoulder to see the red pen marked on the top of their paper. As a twin, I can admit I've been guilty of the comparison game, counting who has scored more goals or did the most chores around the house. From experience, I can tell you that comparison is the thief of joy. I should have been happy that my sister scored 2 goals when I only scored 1, because we still won the game and she deserved it. It took me nearly 18 years to realize this, but since then, I have found happiness in her success. Seeing her smile makes me smile too. When you broaden your perspective and have confidence in yourself, you are able to accept the success of others. Despite all of this, comparison is not horrible in every aspect of life. In fact, it can be a mode of motivation. At the end of my junior year, I had a conversation with my English teacher about how I was disappointed with my final grade in the class and held higher expectations for myself. He told me that I should be proud of how much I had grown from freshman year and that I must judge my present self from the perspective of my past self. I envisioned the shy girl in the back of class, afraid to say a peep, and saw myself now, sitting in the front row, unafraid to answer a question. Instead of comparing myself to my classmates, I needed to look from where I started to where I am now, and I have realized that this is the only form of comparison in life that is valuable. I'm not expecting you all to walk off this stage today and transform your life. It's going to take practice, perseverance, and patience. In a culture of constant comparison driven through social media, it's practically ingrained in us. So, to the class of 2024, I leave you with this. Stop endlessly comparing yourself to others, to your classmates, your siblings, your peers, and start comparing yourself to you, where you have come from to where you are now. It is the only way to stop the thief from stealing your joy. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. The Lost Lady Found by Percy Granger and arranged by Michael Sweeney was chosen by the senior band members while they were in middle school and had held steadfastly until their graduation. Seniors will now join their classmates in their final performance as members of the Mount Everett Band, directed by Courtney English. Thank you, Mount Everett Band. At this time, the school committee of the Southern Berkshire Regional School District takes pride in awarding diplomas to the class of 2024. Bonnie Silvers, chairperson of the school committee, along with Superintendent Dr. Beth Ricky-Bugle, and Assistant Principal Julie Sternagel will now join me in making the presentations.
Good morning. I'm extra proud today to announce the names of these Mount Everett graduates sitting behind me. Collectively, this group of Eagles represents what makes our district special and exceptional. Despite their size, they have accomplished just as much academically, athletically, and theatrically as classes before them. So today, class of 2024, we celebrate your successes and look forward to all the amazing things you will continue to achieve in the future. Strive for greatness. Stay true to who you are as individuals, because starting now, it's your turn to choose and define what success means to you. Others may try to define success for you, but yours is the only voice that matters. Congratulations and best of luck. Without further ado, will the following graduates come forth and be recognized? Tony Lynn Marie Smith. Michael Stephen Ulrich. Megan Mary Loring. Alexis Swerta Gabriel. Jade Nicole Evans. Mercedes Jade Kosick. Joseph Vincent Jamaro. Paul Jens Sadara Harding. Shira Deja Sawyer. Ivy Wildflower Webster Ben David. Penya Watai Chia. Maya Maria Martin. Kylie Jo Martin. Emma Rose Wilson. Ty Michael Stark. Isaiah Joseph McLaughlin. Amos Clayton Duvall. Delmar Joffer LeGrant. Callie Marie Eichstedt. Mabel Mariah Wheeler. Kaylee Smith. Jasmine Lynn Brady. Catherine Lee Cohen. Lucia Hazelton Seserchiak. Aiden Raymond Murray. Nathan James Tenbrook. Allison Helen Sternagel. Julia Helen Devote. Emily Margaret Sternagel. Donald Andre Guzman.
I don't want to drop it. Cut. Who stole my script? Now I'd like to introduce the officers of the class of 2024. Student Representative Emma Wilson. Treasurer Allison Sternagel. Secretary and Gold Captain Julia Devote. Vice President Gold Captain Emily Sternagel. Class President Nathan Tenbrook. Nathan Tenbrook, would you please come down to lead the class in a tacit ritual? Congratulations, graduates. You are well aware that you would not be sitting up here today if not for the love and support of the people sitting out there. Please join me in giving your friends and families a hand. In closing, on behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration, I would like to offer the class of 2024 a wish for happiness, good health, and success in the future. One quick housekeeping issue, all those beautiful banners that are Senior Avenue at the school, you guys can come pick them up starting the week after next. So, like Monday's the 3rd, you can come in the 10th anytime and pick up, we'll have them in the main office. I apologize that we went a little over in our programming. You always set goals, and then you learn from them and try to be better the next time. All of you know that the extra innings in baseball are the most exciting part, so I think it was okay today. I would ask that you all please remain in your seats as the faculty and staff leads our recessional and forms a receiving line at the rear of the shed. I thank you all for coming.